name will be made manifest in your lives. In the name of Jesus Christ, we declare peace to the four cardinals of the world, to the four cardinals of in the west. We declare peace in the name of Jesus. Integrity and spiritual fervency. The vision statement 1, 2, and go. Raising the people. This is a place where we gather together in quality praise and worship of the true and living God, equipped with the word of God for growth and fellowship with one another in covenant relationship, and released to make a formidable impact in our world for the kingdom. Dream is big enough to contain you, small enough to reach you, and powerful enough to deal with anything the devil brings against you. Here, but
good morning for first being able to come out early, and second for the opportunity for us to have another standout session. Today we want to take on the, I don't know if we call it a theme, but it's going to be for this month. In Standout, we'll be focusing on leadership, and we decided to do a leadership challenge. This is probably why we have the chairs here. So what we want to do in this challenge is to see how we can simulate how we make decisions, even here in church, just with a simple activity. The way it's going to be is, I'll try and explain what's going to happen. I'm going to try and see if I can select some volunteers from the audience. Most of you will not know what's going to happen, but I'll kind of explain what we'll be doing. So I'll pick 2 groups. The first group is going to, they'll be sitting out here, and they will do the deliberations. I will have 5 members of that group. I also will pick another 5 who are going to be the observers in the audience. And their role is going to be they have observed, noticed during the deliberations, and hopefully we can tidy that all up within 30 minutes, or 27 minutes now. To help me, let me invite Brother Victor Ben. All right, so let's, the way we're going to select the first group is from different portions in the building. So I think from that side, can I have a volunteer? One person? Or I could pick somebody. One person? Maybe I guess I'll just go ahead and select somebody. Sir? It's going to be fun. Madam? Okay, sorry. Can I? Join us. One more person. Okay. All right. Okay, this forms the core team. So let me just go ahead and pick the people who are going to be observers, still from the same areas. You'll be one of our observers. I will also take you, one of our observers. You want to join too, right? 3? 3, 4, and 5. Just observers. So your job as observers is just to sit back and watch what's going on, and you give us your own opinion of what has occurred. Okay, let me go ahead and explain the game. So our game here is, our team is going to select a physical fitness activity for the youth group in church, and this is something that's going to be planned next month. So our leader is going to, who volunteered to be a leader? Anyone? Just choose one. I'll give you one. He's our leader. So your role as a leader is that you're going to guide the team to select a day and time, venue, a facilitator, refreshments for the fitness activity for this particular activity. So so that's going to be your role. So unknown to you, each of them is going to have some interest they will be protecting. So while you are trying to get all that to work, they will have specific things you will know about. That's only for you. That's only for you to know. And okay. That being said, we have a duration of just 10 minutes to come up with a fitness. Already we told is a fitness activity. You're going to lead the team to select a facilitator, the venue, some refreshments, and I think a date for that. And is there any other thing you don't understand? So the participants, each one of you has a specific interest you're trying to protect while you're trying to make, and none of the other people know what it is. It's just you. So while you're deliberating, trying to make that decision, you will try to make sure that your activity, I will be timing you, please. Your time starts now, so go ahead. And observers, please, try to monitor what's going on. Go ahead and talk. We want to hear you. Can you use your mic, please?
Guide team to select a day and time, venue, facilitator, refreshments for a fitness activities for the youth group in church planned for next month.
One, we are going to choose the date for the activity. For the fitness activity, we are going to choose the date first, the date.
Okay.
And you know it has to be on a Saturday.
Yes.
So we choose a date next month for it.
Is it next month?
Next month.
We can choose. Okay, for next month.
Next.
May.
Ben. So pick a date. First, no. Rule out
Let's say
first Saturday.
Third Saturday.
Third Saturday.
Yes.
Then we pick the time for the.
Let's say 7 a.m. Like we move from the church.
I want to suggest that we should first look at the budget. How much do we have towards the program, towards the event? Because if we start talking about time and date and we don't know
what the funds we have at hand, it's going to be a big problem for us. Fixing the date and fixing the time and the venue, even what we are going to be entertaining everyone with. So first thing I think we should look at is how much do we have in our purse? Do we have enough to handle what we want to go into? I think that's the first thing we should look at. Not the time, not the date.
Okay, considering the situation of the season now, we are in the rainy season, so we are going to, I suggest we take an indoor game, maybe something like a table tennis. I know my pastor is very good at table tennis. Some time ago we did something like that. So I guess we go for maybe an indoor. What do you think?
Well, I think it's reasonable to me, but at the same time, we should consider how much we're going to spend so that we will not begin to have challenge and run into deficit.
Yeah, also, we're considering how much we're going to spend. We don't need to spend so much on something like that. It's just fitness. And then if we're using anything, it's just going to be something light. And that's really what...
Yeah, I agree with you, but at the same time, I want you to understand that it's not good to just begin to jump into an event without considering the cost involved. So the first thing, even the Bible makes us to understand that if you want to go into such thing, the very first thing you should do is consider the cost involved. So if you don't know how much you're going to spend and all the activities involved, and you just jump into it, we're going to end crashing.
Let's look at the number of the youth of the church. The number.
You have 5 minutes more.
Number of the youth in church. And with
Okay, so from the time frame, that's considering from now till third week, I think considering the budget, everything we need to put in place for the event, I think we still have enough time, being that this is just the first week of the month. We are talking about next month.
Yeah, I believe.
Can we begin to talk about the event that is going to come up? And maybe later we talk about the finance or whatever amount you are going to use. Since we are still having up to like 1 month.
I believe when next we meet, we put a lot of things in place.
Okay, I think I should agree to some extent on that, but I still so much concerned about the fund. It's also the fund, because if you don't consider that, we're going to have a big challenge in executing this program.
We will work.
Yeah, we should work as a team, since it's not just going to be a one-person kind of event. And let's also look at the benefit of what we're about to do. It's just like a time for bonding, because a lot of persons will be leaving their homes together to just spend time together. You understand?
Mr. Shepherdson, I want to beg that we should also consider ensuring that we don't go beyond 100K.
Okay.
100,000?
Yeah, 100,000 for
100,000.
this.
Do we agree?
100,000 for how many people? How many people will that cover?
I just want to let you know that there are a lot of expenses in the church, and they will just have to spend a lot on this. And then let's look at activities that will work within that 100K, please.
But considering the activities, it's just fitness. So even if you're looking at the expenses, it shouldn't be much. Considering we are not coming to eat fufu and gari at the end of the event.
You should know that the cost of things are on the high side right now. And so we should consider what we're bringing on board so that we don't overspend, but there are some things that will consume our money. Just talk about spending on paying for all those equipments and the exercise that you're going to go through.
We are looking at water.
Water is fine. Water is fine. Maybe with something light, like chops.
Water will be during the
I
fitness.
think we're already considering the budget right away. from there.
Just a little interjection. We have about 3 minutes left. Just to let you know, your goal was to come out with, in this meeting, you're supposed to have come out with a venue, a facilitator.
Yes.
You're supposed to also have, what was the last one again?
An indoor event.
An indoor
the event that is going to occur. Probably I suggested a Scrabble game.
One more thing, please. Your budget has been slashed down to 30K, so please tidy up.
But with 30,000 naira, we can go only water.
Automatically, we have to look for something that will not be consuming the funds, as we just been fixed at 30K. So we should look for something that we can just quickly do indoor and then walk around at 30K. So on that note, as our brother just mentioned, I think we can just go for the Scrabble.
Yes.
And then quickly fix the time on that. And then look for a moderator for that.
Yeah, and the person that is also moderating, like the facilitator, is not going back empty. We should also put that into consideration.
So we have to look for a kind of honorarium for it.
Yeah.
An in-house facilitator.
Yeah. Okay.
I will volunteer.
So we can.
We will not pay.
Yeah. Okay. Settle that. That settles that. That settles that. So what? In other words, we still have the 30K at hand
for water.
Yeah. Okay. For just water and nothing other refreshment.
No other refreshment.
So we've agreed on that then.
Do we?
I think we should do things differently. I think that the facilitator shouldn't be in-house, first of all, because the person in-house can do ojoro. You understand? And he has to be someone from outside, or she has to be someone from outside. That doesn't know anybody.
Sorry, sir. I think we already mentioned that we have just 30K. Yeah. And we don't have to spend.
There is nothing like.
Yeah, but their friends inside, in the circle. Okay. So that's why.
So I think it's better to look in-house for the facilitator, as earlier mentioned, because that will save us some fund. And he's at least just agree to that.
If you save some funds by not bringing a facilitator from outside, an external facilitator, so what are you now going to use the funds for? Because, I mean...
We have already mentioned that we need water for the people that are coming, the guests.
Just water?
Well, if you look at water, I think we can as well look at getting one or two things, at least within that 30K.
I think we can...
Instead of going back again, can we just quickly move forward? We have
I think we can get something like small chops, maybe like puff-puff. So, like you mentioned table tennis, when someone hits it, we take one puff-puff.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have come, our time is up. Yeah. Please, let's appreciate our impromptu members of this team. You can basically see how difficult it is to make decisions in a short period of time. I want to use this opportunity to ask the leader to tell us on their decisions, inform us.
So at the end of the meeting, we were looking at a budget of 30,000. The third Saturday in the month of May, and also the time 7 a.m. at most for everybody. And then the venue will be the church auditorium. And the facilitator will be an in-house person.
All right.
And the event is going to be Scrabble and table tennis.
Table tennis, yes. And there will be a light refreshment.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I mean, please, a round of applause for the team. Within 10 minutes, they were able to plan something that would take, some of us will take about 3 weeks to try and get done. So again, once again, thank you so much. It's impromptu. What I want to do is call on one of you can. Thank you so much. You did so well. Thank you. In fact, when they were coming, I had no idea how this would turn out. It was just only a concept in my head that this will happen, but they did wonderfully well. Once again, thank you so much. So I'm going to, because we don't have a whole lot of time, I'm probably going to ask one or two of the observers to give us their comments on what they had seen. Yes, please come. And another observer. Any other observer who would like to tell us what they saw? Okay.
Good morning, church. Okay, I carefully observed the meeting that happened here, and I firstly noticed they were in sync in making decision at some point. The fact that there's one of the men here said 30,000 for the budget and the 30,000 is just for water. That's not visible. How much is water? 350 a bag. How will you use 30,000 for the 350? Bottle water, yes, 30,000 is still too much. We can do small chops and water. That is visible. Yes, we can do small chops. How many are we? Firstly, hold on. Firstly, how many are we in the as youth? Even if we don't do small chops, we can do biscuits, we can do snacks. Will you come for fitness and just drink water? Just water. That aside, they said fitness. It's my unpopular opinion. You might not like it, but I'll say it. We said fitness. I don't see Scrabble game as fitness. Fitness is to keep the body fit. Scrabble game is not fitness. We can have a walk, a prayer walk. It's fitness. It will keep our blood pumping, our heart pumping. So that's my observation.
All right, thank you. Please, thank you. I did not explain what I wanted from the observer. What I'm expecting is you to look at the process and tell us what leadership skills they actually carried out while they were doing that. So let's not look at the details on that, but what leadership skills could you draw out that they actually implemented while they were going through the conclusion? Because no answer is right here. We just wanted them, the team was able to take a task and they were able to grind it to a conclusion, and they actually had a solid plan for an activity. I think that was appreciated. So what we want is just for you to pull out what leadership skills did you notice while they were going at it. Oh.
Okay. Good day, everyone. So I like that they actually deliberated the matter. So nobody stood on one side. All of them had their own side. So it was like they had the people's interest at heart. One person was more of financial. He was more into the finance aspect of the whole thing. So I like that he was doing that, and he was doing it. He was really putting it into the people to know that more money no deal. So let's know how we are doing this thing. So I really like that. But I like that they deliberated how they would do it, either indoors or outdoors. But then personally, I would say that maybe for something like that, they could spend less time doing it, because it's not really a big matter to deliberate on. Thank you.
All right, before we continue, for me, let me give an insight. I saw communication clearly there in that meeting.
Praise the Lord, church. All right. During the conversation amongst the leader and the followers, one of the obvious things that stood out was that the leader was willing to listen to her followers. It was so obvious. Secondly, there was precision. Precision in the sense that each of the followers, brought ideas The first speaker made mention of budgets, which is very vital before you embark on any adventure. The second speaker made mention of different types of games that they could do, okay? And also someone made mention of refreshments. So each of the followers brought an idea within a short period of time, and they deliberated as a team. There was oneness amongst the followers and the leaders. So I think that's what stood out for me.
All right, so please put your hands together for the last observers. I think on the whole, all the observers did well, but then he is very precise, right? What we actually wanted to see is what leadership prowess did you observe from that meeting? And I think he pointed oneness, listening skill, which you saw the leader of that team was able to listen to, even when it was about getting to a point of argument, the leader was careful enough to listen to them and was also careful enough to balance the discussion. So communication was also very clear, and he talked about precision, right? They were able to come up with exact what they wanted to do. And for me, a very good plus to them. Please put your hands together for that committee.
Once again, so thank you. One of the things we tried to do with this particular class was to see how we could make leadership a little more interactive. A lot of us have had many opportunities to serve as leaders of small groups, larger groups, organizations, even family. You also have to serve and lead. But the key things that have been shown within little simulation we did today was the importance of listening. I remember even in the last month, the Ecclesia, we talked about how important listening is. So listening is very key when you are in a leadership position. One of the things that could happen if your team recognizes or feel that you don't listen to their own contribution, they can easily switch off. And that's the end of it. Basically, you're just running your own crew by yourself. And that's not where you want to find yourself, especially when you're assigned a leadership role. The other thing I also want to give credit to the leader of that group was how she was able to quickly slide into that role. She had already, you could tell she was not comfortable with the position, and she was willing to allow others contribute. So she acted more as a moderator, if you notice that. And that's another leadership skill you have. Sometimes, even when you know, it's good to allow your team throw their own input. You may find out that the path you had preconceived may not have been the optimal path, but contributions from the individual do make a huge difference. Next Sunday, we will try to do something similar. Maybe we'll be able to see if we can either play one more, or we'll try and talk more about some of these things we can glean from the exercise that had taken place. Or some of you may also have some other questions. If you do send them in before next Sunday, we might be able to address that in that when we meet again next Sunday. I hope you had an interesting time. It was a little different, and we also wanted it to be fun. And I think when we tried planning this, we really didn't know how it could go either way. But I think we're actually impressed. One more thing. Okay, I think we've already run out of time. So once again, thank you for the opportunity. We'll plan to see you again next Sunday.
Yeah.